Fairy Charm by Casualty Cathedral. It was just like any other day in Summoner's Rift. Minions spawning, pentakills, baron steals, all the like. Champions were running around, busting each other's balls to destroy the enemy nexus. One champion in particular, though, seemed to have gotten a bit lost. It was Lulu's first time in the Rift, and she barely knew her way around. However, as support, she fully understood her duty was to stick behind the carry and help them out until her carry got a bit too far ahead. The brush around the jungle seemed like Lulu's safest bet to not be caught off guard. As she wandered through the thick grass, pigs began to flutter around anxiously. She decided to ignore his nonsensical actions, as Lulu herself knew she brought plenty of wards. Little did she know she brought one ward too few. As Lulu began to near a river of purple rift opened behind her, as she turned around to see who this fellow was, a loud yell of "Silence!" came from behind her. Okay, guys, can you send those messages through League? This scared the bejeebus out of her, as she began to be strangled by this muscular figure, trying to escape with all her power. The figure laughed at her, pointing out, "Your magic is powerless against me." It was Kassadin. While Kassadin was usually into the bustier champions, his dick was in the mood for some yordle today. The petite yordle was barely a match for the mighty Kassadin, as he was able to unbuckle his belt with ease while holding her down, finally letting his void dick out of its bindings. It was ready to open a new rift inside Lulu's little body. Kassadin got straight to business. He pummeled the yordle's mouth with his void dick, barely able to get her to suck it. Despite its size, though, the tightness felt great on Kassadin's dick. Fucking around with all those sluttier champions left their mouths and their vaginas too large of a void for a dick to enter. Lulu began to cough, barely being able to take the great force of his thrusting cock. She could feel how warm his shaft was getting, seeing the sheer might of his powerhouse opening small rifts as the pleasure increased. Kassadin exclaimed heavily, "Justice will be served!" he yelled as his pulsing void dick let out its juices, splattering all over Lulu's face. She hesitantly swallowed some of the void semen that got into her mouth. Smacking her lips, she said, "Yep, that tasted purple." Kassadin wanted more, though. Much more. That small mouth of hers did well, but what her body could bribe. Just thinking about it made him anxious to stick it in again. Unfortunately, the void semen Kassadin released left his void dick feeling a little flaccid. Lulu could see by this situation he needed some help. "Let's put on our thinking caps," she giggled with delight. She began to conjure up a spell with her wand, and bam! Kassadin's dick was erect again, growing twice as large as it was before. Realizing that his dick was even bigger than before, she knew it was too tall. Much too tall. Kassadin, feeling great about the new size of his dick, knew it was time to give it a thrilling try. Grabbing Lulu forcefully, he plunged his dick deep inside her. Using his void powers, he was able to thrust the shaft into a juicy pussy whilst the head thrusted into an unstretched ass. Chapter 2. "We aren't going to like this," Lulu exclaimed as the thrusting continued harder and harder. Lulu began to moan and cum. Kassadin began to smile as Lulu was a squirter, her hot juices running down Kassadin's dick. Urgh! He groaned as he increased the tempo of his fucking. This was probably the best thing his dick ever got close to. Whoa, dizzy," Lulu said as he continually slid himself in and out. Kassadin realized they couldn't contain his rift magic inside her anymore, letting his lust all out at once. "You are null and void," he shouted with delight as the sheer power of his cum sent Lulu rocketing towards the Nexus. A loud defeat rang out in Kassadin's head. He smirked and thought to himself, "That was a victory if you ask me." Both Kassadin and his dick were happy that day, and with even a bigger dick, he was ready to venture into the Dragon's Pit. This has been a Casualty Cathedral presentation. Original story and titling by Creepy Slime, editing by Syllioque, voice of reason provided by Radio Aaron, and recorded by ClairVauxBernard. Thank you.